Hello students, welcome to your English literature class. Today I am going to teach you this poem written by Alfred Lord Tennyson, Break, Break, Break. Please take out page number 89 in your literature books and I am going to explain this poem that will help you to write the summary of this poem. Okay, this is first thing that I need to tell you that this is an elegy. Elegy actually is a poem which is written on the death or loss of a beloved person. This Alfred Lord Tennyson, he lost one of his best friends. Okay, and he is really moved, he is really suffering from a lot of grief because of the death of his person, and because of this isolation he is so overwhelmed with feelings that he has written these lines to express his emotions, which he is not able to cry out loud. It means that he is not able to express the actual feelings in words. He is not able to give the expression of his feelings in form of words. So he has written this poem to give the feeling that he is actually going through. Okay, break, break, break on thy cold grey stones, O sea. So the thing is that the first thing that you need to know is that this poet Alfred Lord Tennyson, he is standing on a seashore, and what does he see? He see the waves, the strong waves of the sea's children dashing on the rocks, on the steady rocks that are there on the shore. Okay, so he is standing on the sandy seashore and he's just looking at the steady rocks, and he is seeing the waves of the sea coming onto the rocks, going back again and again, coming onto the rocks. So what does this show? This shows that you can say the permanence of sea. Okay, the sea is permanent, that water keeps on coming to the sea, but the human life is transient, it is temporary, it will never go on. This coming of the waves keep on continuing, but the human life is transient and the thing will not continue. Okay, it will the human life is temporary and it will be like there will be an end to the human life, as it happened with his friend. Most probably he has written for Arthur Hallam, which was his friend, and he is telling that he is actually feeling the very lonely, very isolated, because he has lost his friend. Okay, break, break, break on thy cold grey stones, O sea. It means he is telling the waves that you keep on coming onto the rocks and going back. On the grey rocks you keep on coming and you keep on going back, and I would that my tongue could utter the thoughts that arise in me. When he sees these waves dashing onto the grey stones, children, what he feels that how easily this thing is taking place, but it is really difficult for him to give expressions to his emotions. It is not that easy as coming off the waves onto the stones. Giving expressions to his emotions is really tough. He cannot find a way to cry out his thoughts. Whatever is going on in his mind, he is not able to give expressions to those thoughts. It's very tough for him. Okay. Oh, well for the fisherman's boy that he shouts with his sister at play. What does he comes across, or you can say watches on that seashore? He sees the boy, a fisherman's boy, and he is playing with his sister. And he is calling out to his sister. They are in a play and they are enjoying themselves. Okay. So what does it remind? This incident reminds him of his young days when he used to have these happy times with his friends. Okay, he also used to play with his friend. He also used to spend a quality time with his friend, a friend which he has lost. Okay, so this scene reminds him of his childhood days when he used to enjoy, when he used to have a gala time with his friend. Oh, well for the sailor lad that he sings in his boat on the bay. Who else does he sees? He sees a boy, a sailor's boy who is in his boat and he is singing. Okay, what is this boy singing? He is just singing whatever he feels like. Means how easily this boy is able to give expressions to his emotions, which the poet is unable to do. Okay, the well for the sailor lad, lad means boy. Okay, that he sings in his boat on a bay. So this boy is in the midst of the sea on his boat and he is singing happily. Okay, because except for the poet, no one else is sad. Okay, they are merry, they are happy. So this boy is singing in his boat and he is singing happily. Okay, and the stately ships go on to their haven under the hill. It means that stately, very grand, very huge, large ships, they are moving towards their haven, their rest place, their destination. Okay, see, when their ships are on this voyage, they have a particular destination where they move towards. Hai na? So now these all ships are moving towards their place, their destination. But oh, for the touch of a vanished hand. Vanished hand mean a hand which has vanished from his life. Which hand has vanished from his life? His friend's hand. Hand here means that soft, that gentle touch of his friend. He misses his friend's touch. Okay, and the sound of a voice that is still. And because the person is no more, his sound is no more. So there is this lack of touch. There is this lack of his voice in his life now. Voice that is still means voice that has stopped. Why? Because the person is no more. Okay. So for the touch of a vanished hand and the sound of a voice that is still, it means I am not able to feel that gentle, that soft touch anymore. See, when your friend is with you, you really enjoy the company of a friend. Sometimes you need to be comforted. Sometimes you need to be discussing something with your friend, and once your friend is not there, you do not have anyone to talk to. You do not have anyone to share your feelings with. So what happens? You have that sense of loneliness, that sense of isolation. So he is going through these feelings right now, and he says that I really miss that touch. I really miss that voice, the voice that is no more in my life. Break, break, break at the foot of thy crags, O sea. Okay. So now he says that break, break, break at the foot of thy crags, O sea. One thing is worth noticing here, children, that he addresses the sea as O sea. Throughout the poem, you can see that he has addressed the sea as O sea. It means though sea is inanimate, it does not have life, but he has, you can say, he has addressed the sea as if it is a person. It is telling, Alfred Lord Tennyson is telling the sea to throw its waves onto the rocks. Okay, as if he is talking to the sea. He's telling the sea at the foot of thy crags. It means you can come, the waves, you can come towards the masses of rocks, the huge rocks that are there. You can come and you can touch those rocks and go by. Okay, but the tender grace of a day that is dead. Tender here means the warm, that soft grace of a day that is dead. It means I will keep on missing my friend's warmth. There is no one to hold his hand now. Okay, there is no one to share his feelings. He's missing his friend, and he says that, but the tender grace of a day that is dead will never come back to me. These waves will keep on coming back to the rocks, but That presence of my friend, which was actually very necessary for me, is never going to come back again. So how are you going to write the summary of this poem? See, this, first of all, you will say that the speaker, the poet, is overwhelmed with feelings. What sort of feelings are these, children? Feelings of being upset, feelings of pathos, separation, grief, or negative feelings because he has lost his friend. Okay, so there is these negative feelings that he is going through. So he has tried to express all his grief in these lines. The poet is really filled with pathos and he is standing at a seashore. He's standing on the seashore and he is looking. What is he looking at? At the steady rocks. Okay, and he is looking at the waves that keep on coming to the rocks and keep on moving. This movement happens with so much of ease. Okay, but he is not able to give expressions to his emotion with the same ease. Okay, it is very easy movement coming of the waves onto the rocks and then going back again. The same process keeps on happening again and again, but it is really difficult for the poet to give expressions to his thoughts with that same ease. Okay, and because he has lost his you can say probably the most dear friend of his, and he has a lot of emotions in his going. He is going through a lot of emotions. He has a great this you can say he is going to grief, and he has so many thoughts in his mind. Okay, he has so many thoughts in his mind, but he is not able to express all those thoughts. Okay, so he watches all the waves that dash against the rocks and go back, and this is all in a rhythm. Okay, with so much of ease, but he is not able to give expressions to his thoughts. The poet here sees number of people. Okay, he sees a boy who is playing with his sister, and both are really very happy. Okay, they are running onto the shore and he is calling out for his sister. They are happy, they are running, and then he sees this sailor boy, the boy who is sitting in his boat and he is singing. Okay, and that song is giving expression to his happiness. Okay, and then the next sight that he sees is the boats. The boats are reaching their destination. That is also a happy sight. Okay, where they wanted to reach, where they wanted to go and you can see fulfill or the motive of being on this voyage, it would be completed. So the ships will be at their destination, that would be fulfilled. So all these things are giving feelings expression to the feeling of happiness. But quite contrary to this, the poet is really unhappy. He is going through a lot of grief. He is feeling that pain on the loss of his dear friend, because he can no longer feel the warmth of his dear friend. He cannot hear the voice of his beloved friend. Okay, the waves will keep on dashing onto the shore, and it will keep on symbolizing the permanence, okay, of the rocks, the permanence of the sea. But on the opposite side, you can say that life is not permanent, it is temporary. Okay, people are there at this moment, the next moment you lose them. So this shows the transience of the life. The life cannot be, human life is not permanent. These things are permanent, but our lives are not permanent. Okay, so he says that I will not be able to enjoy the company of my friend. After this, I will never be able to enjoy the warmth of my friend. I'll never be able to hear the voice of my friend. I hope you have understood this. This poem entirely is expression of his grief and his feeling of sadness and isolation, children, on the death of his dear friend. Try to write the summary, and if you come across any problem, I'll help you out. Now we'll move on to the second poem that you have in your syllabus, that is The Mother Bird. Please take out page 101 in your book. We'll now start with the next poem of your syllabus, that is The Mother Bird, which is written by Walter de la Mare. And it's a beautiful poem, children. This tells you about the unconditional love of a mother bird. Okay, we are talking about a bird here. So this mother happens to be a bird, and we are going to talk about the unconditional and boundless love of a mother. This mother wants to protect her little ones. Okay, and there is an intruder, you can say, a person who tries to enter or keep a watch on her young ones, and there she is, a strong protector for her babies. She is going to protect her babies. She is very brave, and she has got this extraordinary courage, being so small, just a bird in front of a human being. Then also she has that much of courage, that extraordinary bravery she has. And why does she require that bravery? To protect her children. Okay, so she stands firm against the predator, that person whom she does not even match in size, strength, nothing, but she has that much of courage here. Okay, she is ready to protect her children, and we'll see that what Walter de la Mare has told. Okay, what the speaker tells us. Through the green twilight of a hedge, I peered with cheek on the cool leaves pressed. One by one, I'll try to explain every word to you. Through the green twilight of a hedge means this. The speaker is telling. See, as I told you, the speaker is now an intruder. He is a spy. Okay, without the knowledge of this mother bird, without the permission, he is trying to keep a watch, or he is trying to find out what all is going on in that little nest. Okay, which is the territory of these birds. So without permission, if he is entering, he happens to be an intruder. Okay, so through the green twilight of a hedge, there is a row of trees, you can say, or bushes. There is this bunch of leaves. Okay, and in the light of the evening, twilight here means the light of the evening, he is just peeping through these leaves, these bushes. He is peeping through with cheeks on the cool leaves pressed, and onto his cheeks he has these leaves touching. Okay, and this gives a cool feeling. So he has these cool leaves onto his cheeks. His face is surrounded all by leaves, and he is peeping through the leaves. What is he peeping at? He's peeping at the nest of a little bird. And in those necks, in that nest, there are the little ones of this mother bird. Okay. I spied a bird upon a nest. What is he spying at? He's spying at the eggs of a little bird. Okay, she was just incubating. She was just sitting on her eggs. Okay, trying to hatch the eggs, and that there is this man, there is this speaker, okay, who is trying to spy the bird. 2 eyes she had beseeching me. When she sees this intruder, when she sees this spy, the speaker, what is the first expression of this little bird? She in a way is begging. In a way she is pleading. Okay, what will she plead for? To go away. Leave them. Okay. So she is in a way, beseeching here means begging or pleading. Meekly and brave, and her brown breast throbbed hot and quick above her heart. Meekly here means very gently. Little bird, first thing is that she is really not a match to the courage, to the size, to the strength of this human being. So first thing is that she in her own way tries to beg this human being to leave her alone and to go away. Okay, meekly and brave, and her brown breast throbbed hot and quick above her heart. So here you can say that at first she in a way pleaded that please do not disturb me. Okay, she pleaded the speaker not to disturb her. She looked a bit scared also. Why? What happens when you are scared? Your heart beats faster. Yes, you can hear your heartbeat when you are really scared. So this is the feeling, first feeling of this mother bird. She in a way pleads the speaker to leave her alone, not to disturb her, and she is scared. So the little bird's heart starts beating very fast. Okay, throbbed hot and quick above her heart. That it could be seen that her heartbeat is really fast. Why? Because she was very scared. The heart was throbbing. Throbbed here is like beating. Okay, her heart was throbbing really fast. But the next moment, this attitude of being timid changed totally. Okay, let's see. And then she opened her dagger bill. Okay, she opened her dagger bill means you can say she had this beak. Okay, it's like a dagger, and she opened it. Dagger, you understand? It's a short knife. When you want to harm someone, instead of using a sword or a big knife or anything like that, you have this small knife that is known as dagger, which can be kept in a pocket or something like that, and it's really harmful because it's very sharp and it can cause great amount of harm. So that beak of hers is acting as a dagger. Yes. Okay. So here the beak is referred to as a dagger. She opened her dagger bill. She opened her sharp beak. Okay. 'Twas not a chirp. 'Twas here means it was. I is missing. Fine. It was not a chirp. Usually what happens when a bird opens its beak, it's like to chirp. Okay, to give that soft sound, that chirpy, that chirp, that melodious sound of the bird. But this time when she opened, this mother bird, when she opened her beak, it was not to give that chirp, children. Then what was it meant for? To warn that intruder. Okay, to tell that intruder, do not dare to enter here. Do not dare to spy. Okay. It was like a warning. Warning that do not come near to harm my children. Fine. So that feeling of being timid suddenly has changed to the feeling of being ordinarily courageous. Okay. She opened her beak like a dagger, like a short knife, not to give out a chirp, but to warn that intruder. As sparrows pipe at break of day. It was not a chirp like ordinary sparrows, ordinary birds. You see, you hear a lot of chirps. Okay, at the break of day when the sun rises, because the birds, they leave their nest and they start going towards their here and there. So they you can hear the sound of chirping, but this was not a chirp. It was not a trill. It was not the sound. It was not the sound that the birds keep on repeating one after the other to create that melody. Okay. So, in most of the poems, you might have heard the poets referring to the sound of the bird as a melodious tune. Okay, the singing of the bird, the song of the bird, this is not referred to as a song. This chirp is not a melodious tune here, which is repeated one after the other to create that rhythm, to create that melody. It is not anything of that sort. As falters through the quite even but one sharp solitary note. It is not an unsteady sound. It is not a weak sound. Okay. It is one sharp solitary note. It is one, only one. Okay. It's only one note, and that is very sharp. When you are warned, are you kept on telling the thing again and again? No. Once told, and that too in a strict note. That's enough. Yes? Do you agree? So the same thing happened here. This bird is trying to warn that intruder with only one sharp note. Beware. Do not dare. Okay. One desperate, fierce and vivid cry. And this desperate, why? Because she was there. She had that feeling that I need to save my children. Okay. That was and the expression, that chirp that she gave was really fierce because it had a lot of courage. And vivid cry, very full of life. Okay, not a timid one, very courageous. Of valiant tears. Valiant tears means, valiant here means full of bravery. Okay, she had that, you can say that shout that she gave was full of courage. Okay, and hopeless joy, one passionate note of victory. Because she gave out such a cry, she had that sense of victory. Okay, now I am able to protect my children. Okay, we'll continue this in our next class. You'll go through the poem. If you have any problem with any of the lines, do let me know, and we'll continue in our next class. Thank you, children.